somebody's city relative who wanted to be a cowboy. A couple of cows and their calves broke loose, and I had to go round them up and get them penned. So I told the kid to stay by the gate and wait, and help me drive them in when I came. The first time Pete and I come down with the cows, the kid was nowhere to be seen. He'd gone off somewhere in the brush, thinking he was helping me look. The cows split up and took off, and I had to find the kid and give him a talking to. Told him to follow orders and stay put. Then Pete and I went off and rounded up the cows and brought 'em back again. Same thing. The kid wasn't there. He'd got bored and was setting off a ways under a tree. I gave him what for and got back on Pete. But Pete, he just planted his feet and wouldn't move. He just looked at me and at that kid and said, "No, sir." I whupped him, spurred him even, but he'd had enough fooling around. He knew that kid was worthless, and he just quit. And there's no man can make a mule change its mind once it's decided. I led him home and left him alone for a week, and then got on and rode him hard. No trouble. He just figured there was no point wasting any more time with a fool kid. Well, seems like everything's changed. There's no big roundups now, and not much open range neither. And the good grass is dried up and gone with the change in the weather. A steer's got to roam for its dinner, and then get sent to a feedlot to fatten. And what's worse, we've got big business in the government and a bunch of playboys from the cities telling us what we can and can't do with our own land. So all the freedom's gone out of life. Seems like a man can't even spit without somebody telling him, and that takes the pleasure out of it. Used to be a man had good neighbors, folks he could depend on even if he never saw them from one month to the next. Nowadays, that road outside my fence is filled with folks I never saw before and don't much care to see again. Folks who don't know how to get along with the land, don't know what it's for or how to take care of it or themselves. Old Pete, though, he keeps 'em away. He watches that gate, and if someone he don't know or don't like gets close, he'll snort and holler and block the way. And he'll show those yellow teeth if they get ornery. Mules have long memories. Pete knows his friends, though they might not come but once a year. He smells them all over like a dog and remembers that old mule brain of his. He's got that mare to look out for, too. He loves that mare. He'd kill anyone laid a hand on her. I've seen him shove her away from rattlers and test water before letting her drink. He's got a lot of words to tell me what's going on, too. The other day, he found a rattler up against the house, and I could tell from the sounds he was making what he'd got. He'd stomped it before I could get there, but he was ready to talk about it to anyone who'd listen. Like I say, he's a watchdog and a friend. I never had a better. He doesn't intrude, but lets a man be, and there's not many people know that. Everybody knows everybody else's business. Folks don't seem to know how good it is just to be quiet, to sit outside and listen to the sounds of the land. The land has a language too, but you gotta listen, and listen good before you know what it's saying. Sometimes I think the whole world's gone deaf and blind. Everybody fighting everybody else, and for what? For the land, and it belonging to itself. Oh, it's happened before. It's all in the Bible, but nobody reads the Bible anymore, except for a line here, a psalm there, a piece on Sunday. That's not the way to do it. You got to read it straight through like a history book, because that's what it is. Back history. And anybody who wants to know what's coming can find it in there, repeated over and over. I've read the book through more times than I can count. Took it out on the mountain and read it out loud, and watched the trees blowing and the clouds going over, the whole earth running on, and I knew what it was. Poetry and literature and history all in one book. And that's the way a man should read it. High up somewhere, close to God, touching the land and the sky all at once, with time to listen and think things through. I don't know but what I'm glad to be going. There's nothing a man can call his own anymore without paying for it twice over. Except friendship. And maybe love. But it's been my experience that even love depends on what's in a man's pocket.